So in the previous class, we spoke about financial markets and capital markets. What is the purpose of having a stock market? And what is the share? What is the dividend? How the companies are incorporated? What is the purpose of, having an investors in the stock market? What is the capital? What is the profit sharing ratios? All these concepts we discussed. How they will divide the shares for the required capital, how they will sell it. All these concepts we discussed. Did everyone remember all these concepts? Do you want me to revise it more briefly? Can I consider this as
We
a
understand, Mahesh.
Understand,
Okay,
Mike,
great.
not required.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Okay, let's continue with the new concept. So yesterday we were talking about the capital markets and stock market as well, right? So again, let's go back to the financial system, and we will understand what is the financial system in a technical aspect. Just we spoke in a broader manner, like generalistic concepts we discussed about the financial system. But exactly what is this financial system? What are the participants types we have? What are the financial instruments we have? What is the financial markets? Who are the financial regulators? Who are the financial services? What are the financial services? All these concepts we discussed in a briefly. Financial system. You guys understood this financial system, right? What is financial system? Can anyone help me with this question? What is financial system? What do you guys understood about financial system? Suresh, D. Suresh, can you tell me what is financial system? What is financial system? Jayshri,
Yeah, Mahesh.
what is financial system?
Yeah, financial system is a cycle of financial services systems.
Mhm.
It includes people's entities, business, government,
Yeah,
etc.
perfect. Thank you. That's all what I wanted, guys. I'm not expecting much details about from you. I need basic things. Whenever I put forward, any question, I need basic things only. Okay, that's perfect. So financial system is basically a combination of different participants, market, products, and services. So here we will see what and all those things in a technical manner. First, financial markets. There will be financial markets, and we have a financial instruments, and we have a financial participants, and we have financial regulators. And finally, we have a services. All these combinations are the financial systems. Okay. Now, we will see what are these financial markets. We are talking about these financial markets, right? So we will see the classification of these financial markets. In these financial markets, again, we have different markets. Basically, the purpose of having this financial market is to where the instruments will be traded and where all the services are going to be provided. This is called financial markets. So in this financial market, again, we have different types. The types are capital markets. We have capital markets. Suppose if you need capital, where you go? Where do you go? We'll go to this capital market. That's why we have this capital markets. And we have a FX market. What is FX market?
Foreign exchange.
If you want to convert your currency to another currency, if you want to convert your rupee into US dollars or pounds, you have to go and exchange your currency, right? To exchange, we need a place. That place is nothing but FX market, foreign exchange market. Similarly, we have a money market. Money market. We'll talk about it as well. What is money market? Money market is nothing but for short-term requirements. If you are borrowing money, if you are arranging cash at a balance for short-term requirements, like within 10 days, 1 month, 40 days, 90 days, or 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year, that kind of requirements where we can meet is money market. We have a derivatives market. We'll talk about this derivative market also. All these are part of financial markets only, guys. As a financial markets, we have this capital markets, FX market, money market, and derivative market. But what is the requirement? What is the use of all this having different types of markets in the financial markets depends on our requirement. If a business people needs only capital, we'll go and we'll meet our requirement in the capital market. I need to exchange my currency. Then you have to go to FX market. I need money only for 2 days. I don't want any capital. I don't want to go for any loans. I just need money arrangement. There's some adjustments required only for 1 week or 2 days. I'll go and I'll meet my requirement in the money markets. Maybe I want to reduce my risk. I assume that in coming days there will be future potential loss. If I want to reduce the risk, I'll have to enter into some contracts. So that kind of requirements I can fulfill in this derivatives. Like that. For different purposes, we have different markets. But all these are the combination of which market?
Financial market.
Financial markets. Okay. Again, we will talk about this financial instruments as well in a brief part. Again, we are going to talk about in detail what is FX market, what is the money market, what are the different instruments we have in each market. All these things will be discussed. Okay. First, we will see what are the financial instruments we have. In a financial instrument, we have a share capital, shares, bonds, debentures, and what else we have? Derivatives, loans. These are all the instruments, financial instruments, guys. So all these financial instruments will be traded in these financial markets. Okay. And also money market instruments we have. These are a combination like a zero coupon bond, short-term bonds, long-term bonds, FX swaps. These are all the different types of instruments we can have it in the financial instruments. First, I'll tell you the basic difference between shares and bonds. Share means it's a own fund. Normally, as a fund, we have 2 types of funds: own funds and loan funds. Do you know the difference between these two? What is own fund and what is loan fund?
One funds means already which we have savings.
Yeah, savings, or we can say it's a owner's fund. As a partners, as the shareholders, if you have a capital, that is called own fund. It's a business own fund. Loan fund means we borrowed some money from some other person, third person. It can be financial institution, some bank, or it may be from some other person also. We borrowed money. If you are borrowing money, what you have to pay every month?
Interest.
Interest you have to pay. And at the same time, there will be time bound, like for 10 years or 20 years. After completing that maturity of time, 10 years or 20 years, what do you have to repay?
Total amount.
The total principal amount, whatever the amount you borrowed, that entire amount we need to repay. That is called loan fund. But own funds, we don't need to repay. Because you're a partner, you contributed capital. So stay with us until we close the business. While closing the business, I'll repay. Otherwise, if you want to leave the business, if you are leaving the business, then I'll settle your fund. That is called own funds. So for own funds, we have a instruments called shares. Own funds is related to shares. And bond is related to loan funds. You know about bond, right? Already we spoke about bonds in layman terms. Bond is nothing but is an instrument where it will have a principal amount, the interest amount, the purpose of borrowing, all will be written in the bonds. It comes under the loan funds. So these are the normal types of instruments. Depends on our requirement. We will have trading on these instruments. Okay. Then we have a financial participants. We'll talk about these financial participants as well. Already we spoke. Who are the financial participants? Can anyone name few financial participants?
Banks.
Very good. Banks.
Shareholders.
Shareholders. Or we can say investors.
Investors.
Okay.
Custodians.
Both are same. Custodians. Very big word. Then
Insurance companies.
Insurance.
okay, we can say insurance companies. Then
Regulatory.
already we covered about investors.
Exchange.
Government.
Yeah, the major thing is government. And
Entities.
sorry?
Entities.
Entities. Okay, I'll write it as entities. Okay, these are all the participants, normal participants. Now we will talk about one by one. Okay, what is a bank? Again, if you are saying a bank, we have two types of banks. Okay, let's see. We have SBA Bank. You know all about this SBA Bank, right? What these guys are actually doing. You know, we have JP Morgan Bank also. Do you know this JPMC? How many of you know this JPMC?
Yeah, we know that. I know.
Yeah,
that.
we know.
It's also bank only. What is the difference between this SBA Bank and this JP Morgan Bank?
SBI Bank is a government bank.
SBA Bank?
It's a government bank. Retail is a private.
Then I'll keep it as HDFC. HDFC and JP Morgan. HDFC Bank, yes, we all know about it. Then what is the difference between JPMC? You know about Morgan
HDFC
Stanley or Barclays?
HDFC is doing regular transactions compared with that means they do go for the retail transactions, SBI, HDFC and everything.
Very good. So normal this HDFC Bank, Indian Bank, SBI Bank, you know, these are all retail banks. These are called retail banks. Retail banking operations consist of like accepting deposits from the people and giving loans and fixed deposits, maintaining accounts like saving deposits, current accounts, and fixed deposits. And also they'll do operate this lending as well, borrowings. These kind of functions will be done by the normal retail banking. Okay, retail bank. These are retail banks. These Barclays, JPMC, Morgan Stanley, HSBC, these are all investment banks, IBs. So investment banks will do in a broader way, big things. What kind of things? If one company is selling to another company, is one company is there, like TCS is there. Now TCS company selling some shares to another company. Now this IB bank will take care of that process. IB bank, investment banking will take care of that process. Or else we have like two companies, ABC is there and PQ are there. These two companies are merging together. These two companies are merging together. So they're merging and they're forming a new company called XYZ company. These two companies are merging and forming a new company called XYZ. These kind of activities, this kind of transactions will be done by the investment bankers. In simple terms, if you want to say, as an investment banker, they will take care about the transformations, trading, selling of a companies, merging of a companies, acquisitions, market making. These kind of activities will be done by the investment bankers. This is very small word, mergers and acquisitions, but they do a lot. We'll talk about it. What is investment banking? We'll talk a lot about it. But you need to understand the differentiation between retail banking and investment banking. Or we can say merchant banks also. We call it as merchant banks. MBs as well. Everyone understanding?
Yes.
Is everyone understanding?
Yes, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yesterday also we spoke about one example. Here, where is this example? Here. This company is created 100 shares. Now they are giving this 100 shares to the general public, right? Who will take care of this entire process? They are creating shares and they have to sell it to public. They have to collect money from the public and they have to give it to this company. All this process is a big process, right? Who will take care of this entire process?
Merchant
Retail
banks.
banks or merchant banks?
Merchant banks.
Merchant banks. IBs will take care of this process. Again, we will talk how they will take care. What kind of persons they will appoint at the time of IPO when they're offering shares to the public. What kind of persons will be appointed by the merchant banks, investment bankers, how they will go. All these concepts will be discussed. But now you understood about the retail banking and merchant banking differentiation, right? Everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
Mahesh.
sir.
Yes, Mahesh.
Can they operate both? Like there is one bank where they can operate both, like retail banking operations also will be done and merchant banking services also be done. Can they do like that?
Yes, maybe.
No.
I think HSBC is there. I think somewhere. HSBC something.
Yeah, HSBC. The best example is HSBC.
HSBC. Yes, correct.
Initially, when I was in a degree or somewhere, my friend went to HSBC bank to open some to do some transactions. At that time, I thought, okay, this HS bank is somewhere in the available only in cities or like that. But again, when I started placing students in the different companies, we had a lot of students in HSBC also in Kolkata location, Bangalore location. We have students in HSBC also. who are working as a corporate analyst, corporate actions analyst. That time I came to know this HSBC is in both merchant banking services as well as in retail banking operations as well. Like that, we have a couple of banks as well where they're operating both retail operations as well as investment banking operations. So there is no any restrictions. They can operate both. Nowadays, we have this HDFC. HDFC is operating retail banking operations. At the same time, they're accepting mutual funds also. You guys heard about it? HDFC Securities, ICICI Securities, Kotak Mahindra Securities. These are all fund
Yeah.
houses. These are also fund houses. They'll also do this kind of transactions in a smaller way. I'll talk about it. Okay. Now you guys understood, right? What is retail banking operations? What is merchant banking operations?
Yes, Mahesh.
Everyone?
Yes, Mahesh.
Okay. So we're done with the banks. And we have an
Excuse me,
investor.
Mahesh.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, will stakeholders also come this in this financial participants?
Financial participants, stakeholders. Stakeholders is nothing but, do you know the difference between the shareholders and the stakeholders?
Yes, yes.
What is stakeholders?
We can say employees in the company,
Mhm.
but they in sometimes may or may not own shares of the stock, right?
Stakeholders includes every people. All these people are stakeholders. If one company is publishing some financial statements in their website, who can access? For why they are actually publishing all these statements? For the purpose of stakeholders. Stakeholders is nothing but whoever have an interest towards a company in terms of financial obligations, in terms of compliance matter, whoever. Suppose government is there. Government have to look into the financial statements of the companies. How much
Yes.
tax they are paying, how much income is there. That is also stakeholders. Customer is there. Suppose I'm a customer. If I want to purchase a product, definitely I'll look it into the brand value of a company. So I'm also the stakeholder. Employees is also a stakeholder. Auditors also stakeholder. Stock exchanges, banks, everyone is a stakeholder. Okay, stakeholder is a broader. But shareholder means who is shareholder?
Who has a share in the company or
Yeah.
investing capital?
Yeah, only the investors of that specific company. You can say investors.
Yes.
That's why shareholders can be a stakeholders, but all stakeholders cannot be shareholders.
Shareholder. Yes, yes.
You understood, right? The difference
Yes,
between a
yes.
shareholders and a stakeholders. Stake is nothing but interest towards any specific item.
Mm-hmm.
Shareholder means it's a complete share. If I'm holding share, then only I'll be called as a shareholder.
Shareholders.
So every financial participant is a stakeholder. Okay. So we are talking about investors. Yeah, investors are nothing but shareholders. Again, in the investors, we have different types. Some investors will be there who can go and purchase only 5 shares or 10 shares, 100 shares. We have few big investors who can go and purchase in some crores also. There is always differentiation between the investors also, right? So that's why even in investors also, we have a classification. What kind of classification? We have a retail investors. Retail investors means who?
We have purchased single shares or
normal
whatever less normal investors.
Normal people, maybe up to like 2 lakh, 10 lakh as an individual. As an individual, if you're going and participating in the shares purchasing or something on all these transactions, that's we call it as a retail investors. We have a HNIs, high net worth investors. High net worth means big shots like
Yes,
Anil
big.
Ambani,
Rakesh
big people.
Jhunjhunwala.
Yeah, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, the great man. These kind of people are comes under the high net worth investors. And we have a institutional investors as well. Institutional investors means we have a few
The
small
margins.
companies. We have LIC company, right? LIC company can go and also invest in the companies, but they're investing on behalf of LIC company. It's not a single person. The entire institutions is going and purchasing securities. That is called institutional investors. Getting the point?
Yes, Mahesh.
Yes, yes.
And we have a funds as well. I mean, funds, how can I say? There is a PF fund, right? In a government normally maintains this EPF, Employee Provident Fund. Even Employee Provident Fund also can go and purchase some shares on behalf of government. That is called institutional investors. So as an institution, as a bank, banks also can go and participate in this investing. So that's we call as the institutional investors. Even foreigners will also come and participate in the Indian market to do trading, to invest. That is called institutional investors. Okay, these are all the classification of investors. But as an investor, the person who invests money. Okay, then we have a custodians. Custodian is actually a big word. Normally we have a banks right here. What is the role of banking? What is the role of bank?
Why?
What is the role of bank?
Buy and sell, but yes.
No, normal bank. I'm asking normal bank. What is the role of normal bank?
Transactions.
Retail
They'll
transactions.
do
Withdraw.
they'll accept deposits and they'll also offer
Withdraw.
services like a borrowings, withdrawal, all these services will be done. In addition to that, can we say like it's safeguarding my money? If I have my money, I've deposited in a bank account.
Fixed
It
deposits.
means they are safeguarding my cash balance, right?
Yes,
I can
Mahesh.
keep
Yes,
my
sir.
cash balance safe in bank lockers. I mean, in bank accounts, I can keep my cash balance. In addition to that, if I have a documents, land documents, I can keep it in a bank lockers, right? Can
Yes,
I do it
ma'am.
or not?
Yes,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
can.
If I have a gold, can I keep it in a bank locker? Gold.
Yes.
Yes.
As an individual person, to safeguard my assets like a cash balance, bank, and documents, we are using these banks. Similarly, companies also should use such kind of banks to safeguard their assets. What are their assets? Some shares are there, some investments are there. All these things they have to keep it in a safe place, right? Someone should be there to safeguard their entire assets. ఏమో చెప్పలేదండి ఉంటాయేమో అన్నాడు డాడీ వచ్చిన తర్వాత నేను వెళ్తాలేదు అనుకో సో to safeguard the company's assets also, there should be certain kind of a financial institution or some bank type, right? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Just imagine you and me having such kind of assets. Let's imagine like TCS company may have some crores of assets, right? All their physical assets and also the virtual assets. They might have patents, copyrights, goodwill, and shares. Many things will be there in the TCS. So to safeguard all these assets, there should be certain entity or some person or something they should be available, right? So that is called custodian. Custodian role is nothing but to safeguard the assets of an entity, assets of a company. As of now, I want you guys to remember it as an entity where it will safeguard the assets of companies. That's the only thing you have to remember. But again, what are the functions of custodians? We'll talk about it later. Is everyone clear with this custodian?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone have any confusion on this custodian
Yes, Mahesh.
part? Anyone have any
Good.
doubt about this custodian part?
No, sir.
Don't worry, guys. Again, we are going to talk about only about the financial participants. There we'll talk about custodian, depositories, repositories. We have many terms. We'll talk about it in detail. We will see the differentiation between these parties as well. Okay. But as of now, someone said I need to discuss about it. That's why I'm talking about custodian. It's a financial entity where it will safeguard the assets of company. And we have an insurance companies. Of course, insurance companies, pension funds, all these are part of investors. Already we talked, right? Already we spoke about it, right? For the long-term protection of the investors, they'll go and invest in the some shares or some real estate. They'll go and invest. Even insurance companies also will go and invest in few companies. So that's why we are considering as a insurance companies. And we have a government. Why this government is also financial participant? Where they have to impose some regulations to acts and to rules. If someone is doing a trading, there should be set of procedures and set of guidelines, right? So who will issue these guidelines? The government only, or we can say the bodies which are set up by government. We'll talk about this financial regulators, who are the bodies and all. We'll talk. But as a financial participant, government is also part of this financial participants. And someone said entities. Entities already we covered. Entities can be high net worth individual entities, or it can be institutional investors, companies, insurance companies, pension funds. Anything can come and purchase. I mean, can be a part of this investment activities. In addition to that, we have a main thing called stock exchange. What about stock exchange? Why the stock exchange is very important? What is the stock exchange? What are the stock exchanges we have in India?
Bombay,
BSE and NSE.
Bombay Stock Exchange,
BSC,
BSE and NSE.
NSC, NSC,
Stock
NSE.
Exchange and
Bombay Stock Exchange and
Yes.
Nation Stock Exchange.
Yes.
Which is the oldest one?
BSE is the oldest one.
BSE is the oldest.
NSE is new.
No, BSE is the oldest one. You know what is the largest one?
NSE.
NSC is the largest one.
Yeah. Though it formed later, still NSE is the biggest one. But BSE is the oldest, Bombay Stock Exchange. In addition to, we have many stock exchanges, but major stock exchanges only BSE and NSE. We have Ahmedabad Stock Exchange, Mysore Stock Exchanges. We have many stock exchanges, but major stock exchanges is BSE and NSE. Okay. So why we have these stock exchanges as a financial participant? What we guys do with these stock exchanges?
They are the
What we
mediators.
guys do with this?
They are the mediators for buying, selling shares and everything.
Yeah, we can say these are the major intermediaries. So they will act as an intermediary. If someone wants to purchase a share, we need a place, right? We are already talking about capital market. Capital market, yes. Again, that capital market, what is the place, exact place? We call it as a stock exchange. So these stock exchanges has been set up by the government only. Again, by having certain regulations, rules and acts. This BSE and NSE we have. So in this, we can purchase and sell the securities. So directly, can we go and purchase or sell shares or assets in the stock exchange? Directly, can we go and deal the transactions in the stock exchange?
No.
No, sir.
Again, there should be
No.
certain brokers, right?
Yes.
Through brokers only we have to do the transaction. Directly, we cannot do the transactions with exchanges.
Yes.
So the major role is with the brokers. Brokers will be there. So these brokers will facilitate to interact with this stock exchange. Suppose I have an account with I have a broker. Again, broker will have an account with a stock exchange. So brokers will help us to deal with the stock exchange. If you want to buy the shares, if you want to sell the shares, with whom we will interact? We will interact with the stock exchange through these brokers only. Can you name any few brokers in India we have?
Upstarts,
Broker.
Upstarts, Angel,
Yeah.
Asta.
Zerodha.
You might have about
Zerodha.
trading applications, right? Zerodha,
Yes.
Finacia, Angel One.
Finacia. Elise Blue.
Which one?
Elise Blue.
Yeah. So these are all called brokers, stock exchange brokers, brokerage apps. So through these brokers only, we are going to deal with the exchanges, stock exchanges. Now we understood, right? What is stock exchange? What is a broker?
Yes, sir.
So these are also very major financial participants. Important participants in the financial markets. Okay. So these are the normal financial participants.
Okay.
The next one, financial regulators. We'll talk about the financial regulators. What is this regulators? What they will do normally?
They will
Can you
create
name
some
any?
They will create some regulations and follow the regulations. Sir.
We have a currency, right? Like a rupees.
Yeah. Yes.
And a currency notes, 100 rupees, 500 rupees notes. Who will manage
Yes.
all these currencies? Who is
RBI.
the regulator?
RBI.
R
RBI.
Yeah, no. RBI,
and
Reserve Bank
shares
of India.
and SEBI.
Yeah. So to manage this currency, we have RBI, which is again central bank. We call it a central bank. Why we call it a central bank? The authority of issuing currency, or maybe the rules and regulations related to the currency, will be issued by the RBI only. Even the banks also. We have a retail banking, right? How they have to borrow money, but with what percentages they have to lend money to the people, how much percentage of interest they have to give it to the saving bank deposits, current accounts, fixed deposits. Always there will be certain rules and regulations they have to follow. If they are dealing with some currencies, they have to follow certain regulations issued by the RBI. So for currency, we have a regulator called RBI. Similarly, if there is a shares we are purchasing, selling, a lot of relating to some crores and billions and millions, definitely there should be certain regulators, right?
Yes.
So we have a regulator called SEBI. What is SEBI? What is
It's a
SEBI? Full form of
regulatory
SEBI.
agency. Security Exchange Board of India.
Exchange Board of India.
Securities Exchange Board of
Board
India.
of
I'm
India.
not writing full
Yes.
form. Everyone should remember this simple word. RBI, Reserve Bank of India. Similarly, we have to remember this word called SEBI, Securities Exchange Board of India. Can everyone remember this word?
Yes, bro.
Yes.
Okay.
Similarly, we will see few more regulators in other countries also. In USA, one second, guys. I'm getting a call. Hello. Sorry. So in US also we have a regulations. Majorly we have to know about India and also US. Even in exam,
Mahesh, IRDA also come under financial regulation.
yeah, for regular insurance, we have IRDA, Insurance Regulatory Development Authority, IRDA. For the insurance also there will be regulations. So this is called IRDA. Okay. For pension funds we have a different regulations. For every fund related we have a different regulations. But the major thing that we need to remember is
IRDA full form?
Insurance Regulatory Development Authority. Okay. Like that in every country there will be different boards or we can say different regulations. Okay. Then we have in USA. In US also we need to remember few things. The major thing in India we have SEBI, right? In USA we have SEC, Security Exchange Commission. SEC means Security Exchange Commission. This is for securities. SEC is for the securities. Again for the currency they have a federal bank. In India we have a RBI, right? In USA they have a federal bank. Federal bank is the central bank for the USA. They will also issue some bonds and some securities. We'll talk about those bonds as well.
Tell me SCC full form.
Sorry, come again.
Please tell me SCC full form, sir.
Securities
Security
and
Exchange
Exchange
Commission.
Commission.
Securities
And Exchange
Exchange
Commission.
Commission.
Yeah.
Although I don't write all full forms, you guys have to remember those. Okay, when I'm saying itself, we have to write down somewhere and you have to remember. Securities Exchange Commission. FED means federal bank. For currency, federal bank, and for securities and all we have Securities Exchange Commission. It's easy to remember, right?
Yes, Anna.
Everyone.
Yes.
So basically, they will monitor the entire activities related to the securities, and also they will issue the guidelines, how they have to sell the securities, how they have to do the businesses. All these activities, I mean, the rules and regulations will be given by the regulators only. Again, all these regulators comes under the the government. But these regulatory bodies will act as an independent. They will act as an independent bodies. They're all have been set up by the Act of Parliaments. And we have a services, financial services. You guys are clear with this, right? Up to here, up to regulators, everyone.
Mahesh.
Yes, Mahesh.
Yes, Mahesh.
Okay. Then we have a financial services. Already we spoke about few financial services. What are all those services?
Deposit services, loan services, debit card.
These are all
credit.
part of related to the normal regular, retail banking and all. Now we will discuss what is the major financial services of financial markets. Related to the especially securities and shares, mergers and acquisitions. Mergers, or we can say mergers and acquisitions. Now, what is mergers and acquisitions? What is merger? Normal Telugu meaning. What is the merger?
Combining.
Yeah, we are combining
Meaning is
together.
combined. Yes,
We are combining
to-
together, mixing together. That's we call as a merger.
Merger.
Suppose there is a company called A Limited, and we have one more company called B Limited. These two
Yeah.
companies are merging and they're becoming AB Limited. This is called merger. This is called merger. And what is this?
Create another company.
Yeah. So basically, two companies are merging together and they're losing their identity. Suppose A Limited is B Limited is there. After merging and they're forming a new company called AB Limited. So after forming this AB Limited, there is no A Limited, B Limited. Both are
Combined.
liquidated. Both are liquidated. Then they have formed as a new company called AB Limited.
Yes.
Understood?
Yes,
In case
Mahesh.
of,
Yes,
in case
Mahesh.
of merge, whenever new companies will form as, I mean, whenever the companies will form as the new companies, old companies will lose their identity. Old companies will lose their identity, a new company will come into existence. That is called merger. You guys can remember it, right?
Yes,
Yes,
Mahesh.
Mahesh.
And there is one more example for the acquisition. There is a P company P, and there is a company called Q. Suppose company P is very bigger one. Company P is very bigger one. Now, the company P is purchasing this Q company also. Yesterday also we discussed one example, right?
Switzerland.
Switzerland purchased another company because Switzerland is a bigger one. Here also the company P is very bigger one in terms of net worth, having turnover and everything. It's very bigger one. They have a huge cash balance and also the net worth to purchase this Q company. So P company purchased the Q company. After purchasing, P became even bigger. So it's continuing their operations in the name of P itself. This is called acquisition. In case of merger, there are two companies, A and B. They're merging together and forming a new company. After forming a new company, they lost their identity as a old companies. That's an example for the mergers. In case of an acquisition, P is there, which is a big company, and they're purchasing another small company, and P is going to continue their operations in the name of P itself. This is called acquisition. Now you understood the difference?
Yes, Mahesh, bro.
In case of merger, both companies are losing their identity and they're coming into the new company name. In case of acquisition, only one company is losing their identity. Which is that company?
Example A and B.
Here in this example, P and Q, they're losing identity of only one company.
Q only.
Q only. They're losing the identity of Q company. They're continuing their operations under the name
P
of
company.
P.
P company.
This is called
Master.
acquisition.
Master company who is acquiring, his name only continuing.
Yes. Now you understood. Everyone.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
I'll give you one more simple example. It's a funny example. There is a milk. Okay. Then there is a buttermilk. Okay. You mix these two together. What you will get?
Another output will get.
You will
Buttermilk.
get curd, right?
Curd.
Yes, sir.
Right. This is called a merger. Two companies are merging, a new product is coming to the existence. They're losing. Can we call it as a milk after one day? No. Can we call it as a buttermilk? No.
No.
We call it as a curd. This is called merger. Two products are merging and becoming a new product. Another example, there is a P. Let's take an
And
example
water.
again, milk
Milk and water.
and sugar. Add this sugar into this milk. What do you get?
Milk only.
Milk.
Milk only.
Milk only.
Milk
Sweet
only. We call it as a
only.
milk only, right? What
Yes.
happened with sugar? Once you put this sugar into the milk, it will melt.
It will be melted.
Sugar will melt and we will lose the identity of sugar. So milk will be in existence. So this is called acquisition. Milk is acquiring the sugar content.
Sugar.
Okay. This is called acquisition.
Okay.
Is everyone understanding?
Yes, Mahesh.
Yes,
Okay.
Mahesh.
This is one kind of service. This is one kind of service. Okay. Again, we will talk what is merger, what is acquisition, what will happen. Suppose we are just talking in a normal meaning wise, we are understanding what is merger and acquisition. But what happened with the shares? If one company is merging another company, what happened to the NAV of company? What is the general entries we have to post? Everything will be discussed. Okay. Then we have a research. Research is also service. Research, or we can say research and development. R&D, we call it as R&D, research and development. It is also very major service. Many companies, we have Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, merchant banking, right? All these merchant bankings will do this research as well. What kind of research? If one company wants to go for a public, they want to sell their shares into the public. See, in the previous day, we spoke about this example, right? There is a company who is operating from last 10 years. Now they are going for the IPO, initial public offering. So they have created 100 shares. Each share value is 1 lakh, and they are going to sell it to the public. What if no one is coming and purchasing these shares? They will get a huge loss, right? If everyone is coming and purchasing, that's fine. But what if no one is coming? So this kind of scenarios also will be there. That's the reason they will conduct some research and development. They will conduct a lot of research, like what is the brand value we have, what is the net worth, what is the public opinion in our issuing shares to the public. Everything will be collected. Then only they will take these initiations. Without having this research work, if everyone is going for the IPOs, offering shares to the public, they will suffer with a lot of losses. That's why research is very important. Again, this kind of research and development work will be done by the merchant banks and investment bankings. Is everyone understanding?
Yes, sir.
Everyone?
Yes, Mahesh.
Yeah.
Yes, Mahesh.
Yes, Mahesh.
Sales of shares, or we can say trading. In layman terms, I'm putting it as a selling of a shares. If one company wants to sell their shares, that is also service, right? If someone is selling shares, that is also service only. We don't want to talk much about this selling of shares, right? Normally selling their shares, they're collecting money and they're giving share. In the previous day example, they're selling how many shares? How many shares
100
they're
shares.
selling?
100
100
shares.
shares they are selling. 100 shares they are selling. And they're collecting money. For every share, what value is? 1 lakh.
1 lakh.
For each 1 lakh, they're selling 1 share. That is called selling of a shares. Okay. And we have a market making. Market making. You know what is market making?
Sir,
Yeah, come again.
sir, once again, research and development, once again.
Okay. Research and development is nothing but companies, if they want to take some actions, we call them as a corporate actions. Suppose, see here itself, we have a merging, right? A Limited and B Limited is merging together. They're forming a company called AB Limited. This is one action they are initiating. Before initiating, they have to conduct some research. Already they're performing well under A Limited and B Limited. What if it will? If we combine together and we start performing as under the A Limited, what would be our financial position? What would be our sales? They have to conduct some research in the normal public. What would be our share value? We have to expect something, right? If you're doing some major investment decisions without any research, will you do? If you want to purchase one share, how many things you will do? Is it correct or not? If you want to purchase one insurance plan, what kind of activities, what kind of things you will check before purchasing the insurance policy?
We'll take suggestions from already who is having insurance policy.
What is the maturity value will be there? What is the claims ratio? How much percentage of people are getting claims from this insurance policy? These are all things. What is the rate of return we will get? What is the opportunity cost we are losing? All these things we will check, right? But just purchasing one insurance or maybe life insurance, we are doing this kind of research. Just imagine if one company wants to purchase another company, how much research it will be involved. They have to make sure all these things, right? So for that reason, they will appoint some research and development people also. They will do all the research and they will let you know, is it okay to proceed to purchase this kind of companies or not? They will do the research and they will let you know. That is called research. Who will do this research again? Who will do? Investment bankers only.
Financial
We have a
services,
merchant banks,
finance.
investment banking side. These people only will do. Okay. And we have a market making. Now you understood, ma? What is the research and development? Yeah. And we have market making. What is market making? We'll talk about basic marketing. Do you know these guys, persons who are selling credit cards?
Salespersons.
Salespersons. There is also market. They'll do some advertisement. They'll explain about their products, what kind of benefits we can get through this credit card, what are the reward points, what is the cashbacks we will get. Everything will explain, and they will try to convince you to purchase that credit card. To get that credit card of specific bank. This is how normally the credit card people will do, right? Have you guys
Yes.
experienced this?
Yes, sir. No.
That is marketing. Just imagine, just for one credit card, they're appointing one person to sell their credit cards. So they will come and they will call you. they will arrange some small meetings in the cinema hall. I mean, whenever you go for shopping malls and all, there will be a lot of people to sell this credit cards itself. Just imagine, just to sell this credit card itself, they're appointing some persons. If they are selling 100 shares, which is worth of 1 crore, definitely there should be marketing persons also, right?
Yes.
Basically, the people should know about this company, and people should identify this company as a benefitable company. Then they have to come and purchase. Without marketing, no one will purchase. I mean, we cannot sell the entire shares. We cannot sell any product without marketing. It can be a mouth publicity, it can be a video advertisement, it can be electronic media. There should be some publicity, there should be some marketing, right? So those marketing strategies, the marketing will be done with the, again, these merchant banks.
Okay.
Merchant banks will appoint some market research persons, marketing persons. They will go and they will explain about the companies to the high net worth investors and also the common people, how they have to reach out to the common people. Everything will be determined through this market making. So marketing making, don't think it's a very small one or a very cheap one. It's very bigger and huge business. Marketing is really a nice concept. But you know what happened? Because of this small institutions in our local cities, as a marketing, they'll always have to work as a medical representatives. They have to sell their medical products, or they have to sell what is credit cards, insurance products. These kind of jobs they're assigning. But you just go to IIM, Indian Institute of Management. You can see what kind of life, luxury life they're leading. Every day they will be traveling in airlines from one city to another city, one country to another country. They'll be having calls and meetings with the high net worth investors. They will reach out to the company CEOs, MDs, and they will arrange meetings. They will convince about their companies. They will present their company details. This kind of life they will experience. But as a normal people, if you study this MBA and all in local college, what kind of marketing jobs you will get? To sell our Asian paints, to sell medicines, to sell credit cards, insurance products. These kind of jobs you will get. That's why there is always some myth in the I mean, people's mind. Marketing is not a good job. Always we have to travel from one place to another place. You know what is the mandatory thing to get a marketing job in local things? Bike. You have to well versed with a bike driving. Then only you'll get a marketing job. But you go and study your marketing, MBA marketing somewhere in IIM. You don't need to travel in a bikes. You will have a chartered flights to travel in one place to another place. That is called market making. So as an investment banking, merchant bankers, if you go and settle as a market making, you can see the luxury life. Okay, that is called market making in the investment banking. Everyone understood?
Yeah, fine.
Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And we have asset management. Asset management. So this asset management is also very broader word. Because asset management, we all have these institutions, right? Again, Northern Trust, State Street Bank, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, HSBC. These are all into the asset management only. Basically, they're managing the assets of companies. They're managing the assets of public. You might heard about mutual funds. Normal common thing is mutual funds. Everyone know about
Yes.
mutual funds?
Yes, yes.
What these guys will do?
They are also
Collecting money.
collecting money from ours and put it on some assets.
Yeah. Basically,
Equity.
Suppose if I know the trading. I know how to do trading in the stock exchange. So I'll go and do my trading on my brokerage here. What if I have a money, but I don't know how to do trading? I want to invest in business. I want to do business in the TCS company or maybe some other companies, but I don't know how to invest because I'm poor in the stock market things. For that reason, I will approach this fund, mutual funds. So I'll give them money, like 1 lakh or 50,000 something. I'll contribute my money to this mutual funds. So these mutual funds will collect money similarly from different persons, like huge number of persons, like from 1,000 persons, from 1 lakh people around the globe. They will collect money from normal investors, normal small investors. They will pull up all the money, and they will go and do trading on behalf of us. On behalf of us, they will go and do the trading, and they will do the investment. They'll invest in shares, they'll invest in land, they'll invest in companies. Lot of investments will be done by the mutual funds. And finally, there will be returns. If we are investing somewhere, there will be profit, right? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Again, those profits will be distributed to you. Again, those profits will be distributed to you. But why they are doing all these services? Are they doing free of cost? No.
No, for the
They will
profit.
charge. Yeah, They're collecting money from you and they're doing investments for you on behalf of you. So definitely they will charge certain fees also, right?
Yes.
Basically, what they're doing actually, they are managing our assets. They're
Yes.
managing our assets.
Our asset.
That is called asset management. Asset management means client funds, client investments will be handled by this asset management services. Everyone understood? Everyone.
Yes, Mahesh.
Yeah, this is
Yes,
called
sir.
asset
Yes,
management. So these are all the services of financial industry. Okay. And services we covered, financial instruments, all these things we covered. And we are going to talk about capital markets. So again, what is this capital market? It's a part of financial market. It's a part of financial market. Why we have this capital market?
Long-term
Why
capital.
we have this
We
capital
need
market?
long-term.
For investing money.
Can we go and get a loan in this capital market? Suppose if you want to get a loan, 10 lakhs loan, can I go and get this loan?
No, I think. No.
Can I
Capital market is for investing money.
Can I get a capital for 1 day requirement, 2 day requirement?
Yes.
No, they provide
No.
long-term capital.
Yes.
No.
No. For 1 or 2 days, we have money markets.
Basically, guys, the purpose of having this capital market is, the main purpose is for the long-term requirement. For the long term. It can be a own fund, it can be a loan fund also. There will be a possibility for the loan fund as well. Capital means, it doesn't mean that only owners fund, only share capital. It can be a own fund, own capital, or loan capital also. It can be own capital or loan capital also. It can be own capital or loan capital also. But why this own capital, loan capital? What is the purpose of having this capital markets only for this own capital and loan capital? It means for long term. Capital is meant for long term, not for 1 day or 1 year. It's the purpose of having this capital market is, if you want to get the capital for long term requirement, then we have to approach this capital markets. Suppose if we want to go with the own capital, what is own capital? You're asking someone else to be part of our company as a shareholder, right? We are asking people to purchase our company shares. If someone is purchasing the share, we always have to have an intention that we are going to stay with this company for long term. Because as a owner, definitely they will stay for a long term only, right? That's the purpose of having this capital, own capital, for long term requirement. Similarly, loan also. Loan is not for 1 month or 1 year. It's more than 1 year. If you want to get this loan for more than 1 year, you will get a repayment only after a couple of years only. That means you are acquiring this loan for long term requirement, maybe for 10 years or 20 years. For every year, there will be interest payment until you repay that amount. But when will we do this repayment? After a couple of years, like 5 years later, 10 years later, 20 years later, we will do this loan repayment. That is called loan capital. So these two things comes under the capital market. So whenever we say capital market, it's for the long-term purpose. It can be a debt capital or it can be equity capital also. Again, in this, we have 2 types of markets. Primary market.
Secondary market. Secondary market.
Secondary market. We are entering into the main topic, primary market and secondary market. So before we start this primary market and secondary market, I need confirmation from you all guys. Are you guys understood about this financial market, instruments, participants, regulators, services?
Yes,
Are you guys
sir.
are sure with this?
Yes, fine.
So what's you're confusing us? First you spoke about a financial market. There we have a capital market, FX market, money market, derivative market. Again, we are talking about capital markets. You are saying like 2 types we have. Are you guys confusing like that?
No, nothing.
Okay, I'll explain one more time because it's very important. Okay? As a financial system, understand step by step. Financial system. What is financial system? Combination of all these elements.
Financial services.
combination of financial market, financial instruments, participants, regulatories, and services. Combination of all these are called financial systems. And we know what is financial market, what is financial instrument, participants, all these things we know, we discussed, right? Discussed or not?
Yes, Mahesh.
Let's come back to the financial markets. In this financial markets, we will meet a lot of requirements. Lot of markets we have. As a market, if you want to say in a layman terms, market, what kind of markets we have? We have a fish market, we have a vegetable market, we have fruit market. We have different types of markets, right? Similarly, in financial markets also, we have different types. What are those types? Capital markets, forex market, money market,
Money market,
derivative
derivative market.
Okay, we are all sure with this, right? Financial markets and types of financial markets.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's come back to the capital market. Forget about these three. We will discuss later. Now, the topic is capital markets. In these capital markets, what is the purpose of having capital market? It's for the long term.
Long-term purpose, sir.
For long term. This is what you need to remember. Only for long term. Again, this long term. What kind of capitals we get, sir? Only owners we can. Only share capital only we can get. No, we can get even loan capital also. But how many duration? What is the duration of this capital? For long term. For more than 1 year.
10 years, more than 10 years.
Long term. For long term requirement, you are getting the capital. If you want one day cash, maybe I'll go for another market. But I need for long term. I want to someone as a shareholder, they want to stay with me for long term. That's why I'm going for this capital market. Similarly, after 10 years or 20 years, I'll repay this money. That's why I'm going for this capital market. Understood?
Yes, Mahesh.
Yeah. So in this, again, we have two types of markets, primary market and secondary market. We'll talk about this primary market and secondary market in the next class. Because in the third session itself, it will be a more lengthy concept for you guys to understand. That's why I'm giving a break. Otherwise, we can discuss about this primary market a lot. Okay, I'm giving a break here. It's a perfect break because you guys can go through about all these financial concepts, regulatories. You guys can remember all this. What is entity? What is stock exchange? What is the brokers, custodians, investors? What are all these regulatories? What is the full form of these regulators? What is the mergers, acquisitions, research and development, sales, asset management? We discussed a lot for today. So I'll be providing the notes as well post this session. We'll upload the notes, assignments as well from today onwards. So you guys have to practice it. From tomorrow, we are going to talk about the primary market and secondary market. We'll talk about it a bit. What is the primary and secondary market? Again, we are going to talk about primary market in depth. Okay. Any doubts as of now?
Nothing.
Any doubts? Okay.
Nothing, Mahesh.
I want to add one more. Yeah,
once we revision, we'll get this some doubts. Once we revision it.
Yes. You guys have to revise. Go and do some research in the ChatGPT, internet, Google. What is the research, mergers and acquisitions? All these things you guys have to do it. Okay. Okay, guys. Let me stop the recording.